feet actually need, they're quite deformed, due to tension. It's not just, like some people have deformed feet due to genetics. They're born with strange things and their mother had the same strange thing. Just because their parent has the same strange thing with a foot does not mean it actually can't be fixed. It can be passed down tension, but sometimes it is a genetic, you can't necessarily fix that. But with Dave's feet, they feel tight. Okay, so it's not just, some of this is just due to just downright tension. And almost everybody has a certain degree of tight feet, 95, 97%. So before I start working, I have already relaxed his head, and you can see he's back into his nice relaxed state. So I don't need to spend that time on his head right now. David said he's got some plantar fasciitis and some tension here, and he said something about some skin stuff here or something.
Oh, no. So just don't think that's a verb because it's not. It's just constant hard skin, and plantar fasciitis really affects from here downwards.
Yeah. Okay. So before I use the tools, I just want to get a bit of blood flow happening. I want to see where his restrictions, just get a good feel of his feet. I like to do I don't know if you guys David, have you shown him this little click where you bend it like that? Okay. I like to, this is done by putting the finger behind that joint here and then just, and his feet are so tight, but they're going. Big toes are hard to get like that. So I just get a gentle moving it around, just getting him used to it. Okay. So I can feel like there's a lot going on in here. This is all tight up through here. This is like, see this? It's like, if you feel that, it's like and this is common to be like a steel cable coming up through here. And feel that. Does anybody want to have a quick feel of that?
Oh, yeah.
It's so tight, So that's the outer little toe band. But you feel that, you're like, okay, And this is why, with an hour, to me, it's just, I'm just going to do a little bit of work on it. This foot needs 3 or 4 hours, 6 hours or something, right? But I'll just see, and I like to feel like through here on this big toe belly band, and he feels tight through there as well. And you can see and as I come working this band, I actually end up working with the leg open like this, and I get in underneath that bone there. See, that's the bone. You don't want to be ever pushing on that, but you're coming in like there to diagnose or to treat that, and that's super tight too, which is what we were picking up in his belly, and that could be affecting the front of his throat area here, and the big toe sacrum band could be affecting his neck at the back. So I might just start with his big toe, even though his little toe does need some significant work, but so does his big toe. So again, slowly. I don't really want him to, be like jerking away. So I know this is going to be, the tightness in his toe. I know it's going to be sensitive, but I feel like I'm hitting 8, 9. Yeah. And I'm just going to let him breathe into that, okay? And hold it, just steady, and let him breathe. He's going to do the work. I'm bringing the awareness, and he's going to do the work, particularly with this point. And it's so charged that it's going to take a minute or two to at least let him get rid of that charge. And as I feel like the charge goes down, what I call a charge, then I can just slip in a little extra 5-10% pressure, which is already I'm feeling I can do that.
Does it happen sometimes you're just being one point and you release a lot?
Oh yeah, especially this point.
So much that it's just very surprising because you lose everything.
Yeah, especially when you get the right spot. And this spot, as I say, on the end of any toe or finger is the end. It's the end point. So it's so powerful, this point. The last 10 or 15 years, I've just been exploring and trying to understand this point, And that's why I usually keep it on the point, but I change my angles. But mostly I'm just really paying attention to him. And if I know I'm working at an 8 or 9, for me that's good, I like to work at that, especially with a green light, I'm not having to work at 6s and 7s with Dave, I know he'd rather me get him as better as I can, whatever the English is, but And for me to see more, I close my eyes. Because you can't see much. You know, once I got the spot and then I sense, and then I can really tune in, you know, and then I let him breathe, and then I could just slightly move it. How's the pressure now, Dave?
Still about an 8.
Yep. Because I actually increased my pressure slightly, so that, but it's staying within his, you know, as I increase it. Now I'm going to just, for me, I feel like I want to come down this way to start with, so I'm going to go down a couple millimeters down this band. Okay, they're what I call micro bands. And I just ease off slightly and then ease into it a bit more. But really pay attention to his breath. And I come down a little bit more. And again, watch his breath. Might not be, it looks like I can increase it a little bit more. Now I think I'm at his limit. And I just decrease it slightly. And then, as I come away from that first point, I can then start to create more like a tiny little side-to-side movement, like a jiggling kind of movement. And this is what I call the first run. So it's like, just to take away whatever charge, you know, the top layer of charge. And then I can move a little bit faster as I come down. And here, I can actually hold this spot and move the toe into the chopstick as well, which is quite nice. Or rotate the toe while holding the chopstick still. And again, watching his breath. And I know I'm pretty much near his limit of what I could do, like an 8 or 9. You can see, like, if I go any harder, he's tightening up. So I'm just going to stay at that, go a little bit easier. This is what I call regulated release. Okay, the regulating factor is how much can he breathe into. Don't push it too hard, and don't go too little that the person's not effective, right? So it's always that balance between effective and not overwhelming. Okay, now I'm just gently twisting his toe the other way, which you can see. Scottish grip, thank you very much, I'm really enjoying it. I'm pushing him a little bit harder, but not too, and then I give him a rest and let him breathe. I sort of took him to a 10, just to sort of make him feel alive, you know? In case he was like getting too complacent, you know?
This is exorcism territory, right?
And then let him breathe. How you feeling, Dave? Just connect back in. Good. So sometimes I work in a wave-like motion too. So intense, and then let them just, you know, not like intense all the time. If you work intense, you know, yeah, 7, 9, 7, 9, 5, 10, yeah. Especially if you go to 10, and then ease it off a little bit more. Let them breathe into it, process it. And so now I'm just changing what I was doing with the big toe, and I feel he's so tight in here that I'm going to hold those points, and then, and you can see we hit a temporary moment there, but just to sort of, and I might just do that just to let Dave know that he's very tight there. Yeah, Dave, you're very tight. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just in case, you know.
No need to ask him what number he's on.
Yeah. So now we ease off a little bit, and I'm just sort of working through here. And again, it's just, he's all so tight you know, this toe is a mess. But the whole foot is. But I watch his breath again. Slow what I'm doing down. But sometimes by taking him up to that 10, later I'll be able to take him up a little, like, you know, I call it expanding his horizons a little bit. Or taking a look over the other side. But then bring them back down. You know, they had a quick peek over what it's, you know. Just a quick look. And so he's so tight through here that we're going to go quite gentle. And again, just building him up, showing him where he's tight. Maybe holding a little spot there. And again, watching the face, watching. And you know he's so tight in here. And then just caressing it a little bit.
A Raynor caress.
A Raynor caress. Nothing like a Raynor caressing massage, right? And then I'm coming on the other side just to give him a little bit of variety. And we're going to see how he is on this side. And we know he's extremely tight. So again, I'm going to then watch to see how he feels, because we could feel it's extremely tight, and that usually means it's going to be sensitive, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes the way people react, it's their own unique way. And in here is what I call supercharged. And pretty much you can see he feels that. Yeah, it's as we come to that first joint, but I'm not expecting all that to release. I just, whatever's going to go, let it go. This is my first run over. He's super tight through here. But again, so I'm going to slow down, watch his breath. So whenever anybody's flinching against us, what we want to do is we want to get them back into that relaxed state, okay? We don't want them building up, because if you build up from a flinch, you'll start to create a boundary. Yeah.
He was flinching when you weren't using the chopstick. I mean,
Yeah.
would you, with some clients, begin without chopsticks when you can see they've got this degree of tension?
Yeah, but it won't matter. He could flinch. That's my thumb, right? It's because he's tight that he's flinching, not because of the tool. I mean, whatever tool, whatever.
What added value is the chopstick in that case?
What's that?
What added value is the
Oh, it's far
chopstick?
more precise, and it saves my hands a lot of stress. Yes.
Smaller points.
Smaller point.
Yeah.
Physics.
So it's not. It's partly for him and partly for me. So I'm not wasting so much energy. So either way, whether I'm using my finger, whether I'm using a blunt tool, this just means that all of my, you can see that this is not as stressful on my fingers. It's going precisely into the spot. It's hitting his tens. For me to hit his ten with my finger, I'm spreading that pressure out. I'm going to put a lot of pressure on my joint here and here. So it won't make me as sustainable. And it's not as precise.